If you can get the culture in your firm to have the majority being can-do people who get it, then you can put some of those average people into that and they become good, okay? It's just getting your business to that tipping point.
Yeah.
There's more good ones than there are bad ones. Because if it's the other way, then you can take good people and put them into it and they go bad. Okay, hey, I'm back again with my buddy.
Damn, man, every time you kick me out as a co-host, man.
Well, you are my co-host. What are you talking about? I said you're my buddy, okay?
Oh, yes, that's higher level.
Yeah, come on.
Fair. I'm sorry, man.
Jeez, your beard's looking good, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
You got that hip, like 5-6 day beard growth look that all the young guys have.
I just trim it up.
Yeah, I'm just glad you don't just let it go crazy going on the neck.
No, you got to trim it up.
I hate that.
Cut it down.
Yeah. Yeah, you look good, man.
Thanks, man.
You always do, though.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. That's the only compliment I've gotten in like the last month.
Well, that's the problem when you own your own business. You know, nobody friggin' gives you.
That is actually that is a topic. Like people are like, say something nice, and they're like, don't get a big head. I'm like, there's no threat of me getting bloated up with arrogance because like you just constantly getting cut.
You just get negative feedback
constantly.
And then usually, you know, I don't know, I'm not saying that this is the case for everybody, but a lot of times you go home and the spouse does it to you too because you're working all the time. Okay. Or distracted. Even if you're not working, you're still like,
it's right.
I can't believe my wife tolerates that so well now. I mean,
she's gotten good at it.
She is so tolerant of me at this point.
Yeah, my wife does a good job too.
We're so fortunate there. But hey, we're back again with another episode of
that big ass talk about that small
business.
That should be a jingle. That was a good one.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So today, Eric, we're going to talk about working for an entrepreneur.
Oh, man.
All right.
I love this topic.
I do too. I think it's such a great topic because basically I run into issues every single day related to this topic.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
I mean, what the expectations are for people who work for people like us.
Yeah, I can tell you what my expectation is.
I'd go for it.
Excellence.
Exactly.
Evolving, continuous excellence.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
wrong with expecting that.
No.
But I think a lot of people think there is.
Yeah, I mean, like
I really do.
You know, there's this aura going around in society to where like we're concerned about people being burned out or tired or whatever it might be.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and I get it. There is a level of which you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, right?
Yes.
But
Sam gave us a piece of data right here.
Oh yeah.
75% of Gen Z workers report burnout systems due to workplace stress.
Listen. Here's the deal, man. You rewind 100 years, there was no one talking about burnout.
I know
you were trying to survive. And that's been the way it's been since the beginning.
Yeah, I get
it. It has taken hard work to just survive. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that we start vacations, we started this all back up, you know, I mean, that starts, you know, and then we want more time off and we want balance and we want all these like recreational things. But the reality is that you rewind back and I mean, like, dude, you were working to get food and working to get water and to not die in the next lightning storm or flood.
But Eric, that's not today.
No,
that's not the world we live in today.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, you know, I mean, life is pretty freaking easy when you look at it, right? Like I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat.
Sure. I know.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and I would say everybody that's complaining about being burned out, they're not worried about what they're eating.
Well, I do. Whether I want to get ribs tonight or I want to go for a good steak.
Yeah.
Right? That's how much I worry about it. No, you're right.
But anybody that's
we're all
working
survival.
They're not worried about if they're going to be able to eat.
Sure.
Because you're working, you're earning, you can go buy your food. So your survival needs are being met.
Mm-hmm.
And so why are you working then? But I think you have to attach your passion what you like to do.
Exactly.
What you're excited to do. That's the kind of career you need to get into, because that alleviates all this burnout.
Yes.
Burnout happens when you lose the vision and the purpose of why you are doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
And if you're in that, you know what you got to do? Change jobs.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Well, I think that's, it's such a great topic. And like I said, it does cause a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, and I think it's interesting to me. I'll use this as my LinkedIn Hall of Shame mention, which I've kind of dropped here for the show.
Yeah.
Need to bring that back.
Yeah, you do.
But, I put an article out on vacation time and how it's scheduled use, what employee expectations are while they're on vacation, out on LinkedIn. It was out in this Weig letter. And last night, one of my daughters even wrote a response to it.
Oh, wow.
Who's a professional and a very successful woman. She's like, my vacation time's my vacation time. That was a point of negotiation when I took this job, okay? Because I'm like, hey, is it too much to ask for people to look at their phone or email a couple times a day when they're on vacation? I don't think it is. No. I always did it.
Yeah.
Okay? Now people say, yeah, but you're the owner or you're the CEO.
And you're getting rich.
Yeah, and I'm the employee. Act like one. Guess what? Maybe we'll make you an owner. Maybe you'll own your own business someday. Maybe you'll develop the habits that actually allow you to be successful if you ever do. How's that?
Prove it before you get it, baby.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's my own daughter. I had to be sensitive to her needs. Sure. And she works hard. She's got 2 kids, and a significant professional job.
Yeah.
But just built a beautiful new 7-figure house. We were out there on Father's Day. It's fantastic. I'm so proud of her. But anyway, I do want to say to people, you've got to get tuned in, for God's sakes, and be responsive and do the extra things. Here's another point that Sam gave us. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks.
She's wonderful.
She's good.
Many employees are assigned tasks outside of their job descriptions. 77% are asked to take on additional responsibilities weekly, and 36% face these requests daily. And that's from Live Career, Hidden Costs of Extra Work, livecareer.com. 93% of employees report experiencing burnout due to workload creep. What do you think about that? As a small business founder, owner, what do you think about that?
Listen, I hate job descriptions. It's like people have to understand, employees need to understand that a lot of this stuff that we expect from an employer is based upon massive corporations over decades worth of time.
Okay, that have tons of resources.
They're a number in a huge freaking mess of folks, right?
Right.
But that does not apply to small business.
Exactly.
It does not apply to entrepreneurship. It doesn't apply to most businesses.
No.
And so you need to be able to approach and be employed when you're with a small business with the expectation of wanting to grow, wanting to excel in that trade of what you're going into, and you have the opportunity. Your ceiling has been lifted up tremendously at a much faster pace.
Absolutely.
All we ask is that you just improve.
Exactly.
Just get better.
You know what, though? Just when you say that, it became perfectly clear to me. Here's an analogy, okay?
Yeah.
The analogy is that when you work as an employee in an entrepreneurial organization, small business, either one, like you or I might have.
Yeah.
You are essentially self-employed. I think you need to think about it like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a new business, how do you get ahead with your own new business? Do you get there by saying to a client, oh, we don't do that?
Right.
Okay.
No.
We shut down at 5:01 and we're done. And if you call me, customer, after 5 o'clock, you can forget hearing from me until Monday when I get back in the office.
Doesn't work like that.
Okay. No. I mean, you could try that. It's probably not going to be very successful, right?
No.
So what do? You broaden the things that you're willing to do. You provide extra services. You make yourself available to be very service oriented. You respond quickly.
Yeah.
Now think about the qualities that would make you successful in your own business. Apply that as to yourself as an employee.
100%.
How's that for an idea?
No, that's exactly the way it needs to be. The reason why as if I have a client that asks and requests outside of hours, extra additional stuff, there is a negotiation there, right? Number one, my perspective is if you're my client and you ask for something additional, 90% of the time, yes, is going to be the answer. Because I am here to serve you and bring you value for the dollars that you're exchanging for me. I want the money, you want the service.
Exactly.
Or the product, period.
That's
Done.
the point.
If you need a little extra, I'm going to do a little extra. Now, if you become out of line, right, and you're asking for me to do something way beyond scope that's going to cost me all kinds of extra dollars and extra investment, then we're going to negotiate and figure out a good price for that. So fair.
Right.
But, I'm not going to try to retire all in one.
Hey,
I'm certainly not going to say this isn't what I do.
And you would never say that.
No.
That's the whole point. I mean, it's like, so somehow we've got to get across. Now, are there employers who exploit people or take advantage of them? I'm sure they exist, okay? If you find yourself, if you're an employee and you find yourself in that situation, neither Eric nor myself would say stay there, okay? No. Move out. They don't recognize you. They don't appreciate you. They exploit you. Move out. That's not...
So few circumstances like that really, really, truly exist, especially in small business.
I know.
I have run across some really bad owners that just have... They don't appreciate human beings.
No, they're selfish.
They're narcissists.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll come across those, but you have to get out of that situation.
Exactly.
But most of the time, it's folks that come into a realm, they have an expectation of a massive conglomerate organization working for a small business. They want the whole, and guess what? They came to small business because their ambition is to feel more free and to have a better culture experience.
Right, a better connection with their supervisor, with the customer, whatever, right?
They want all the want the cake and the icing.
No, I hear you. Yeah, well, it may work that way if you work hard enough and you think like an owner. Eventually, you may be the owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally agree with that.
That's the thing. I mean, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's why I hate books like Good to Great. I mean, I hate to say it. Okay. I know it's a Bible for people. Look at the organizations featured. They're mega corps, mega organizations. They're not all even corporations that have billions of dollars to work with and 20 to 50, 80 years of inertia.
Yeah.
We're not that. We're small companies. We're fighting. We're scrapping. We're just like the employee out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 100%.
Fighting and scrapping.
Trying to make something big happen.
Yeah.
Trying to take care of our family, trying to take care of other people, trying to improve the community. Trying to innovate and improve society. And I think what a lot of this whole principle comes down to me, honestly, and I'm saying this for myself. I get tired. I'm a human. I get tired. I get stressed out. I want to run away. I get scared. I have all the same emotions, everything everybody else does.
We all do. Yeah.
But I have seen that as I gotten older, that my job, my responsibility is to take care of my own business.
Plow ahead anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
If I'm freaking feeling anything like that, I go figure it out and then I show back up.
Yep.
And if I start really losing it, I mean, dude, there's times I've been depressed. There's times, seriously depressed. There's times that I've been really sad. There's times I'm really excited.
Right.
But most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm either scared, depressed, discouraged, beaten down, slapped around, just living that. But the thing is I know that I have a responsibility.
Right.
I have an ambition.
Yes.
I know that I need to push through, and I'm trying to
You have goals.
I have goals. I'm trying to improve
myself.
I have to adapt. I have to learn.
Exactly.
I'm accountable to all of it.
Yes.
And so I think that it really comes down to every individual.
And the satisfaction you get when you accomplish that makes that sacrifice, makes those hills that you had to traverse worthwhile.
It's called honor, integrity.
Yeah.
All these values and virtues that every human is going after.
Oh, no, that's the thing. When you miss all that and all you think about is just personal gratification, like what car you're going to get, where you're going on vacation, or how much heated and cooled square footage you're going to have in your next drywall palace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gratifying.
It's not, because even if you gave somebody, what a lot of times folks do is that they're going for a goal of being happy.
Right.
And everybody, for the most part, is not happy. I don't believe that people are supposed to necessarily be happy.
Certainly not all the time.
Certainly not all the time. And not a majority of the time, right? Like in what element did we ever decide that we all should be happy?
I know.
I don't know where that came from fairy tales and songs and poetry. Like
1960s psychology. I don't know where that came from.
Right. But I think like everybody's like, oh, well, I'm striving to be happy, and that happy equals having money, having things, having this happy family, everybody's healthy, everything's perfectly well. It's not. It's the opposite. It's a struggle. You're surviving, you're thriving, you're trying to get ahead, you're trying to impact, you're trying to do things.
Exactly. It only comes from doing. We always come back to this.
We do.
It's because it's true.
It's the kernel.
All right. It is the kernel.
And I actually, like, when I have folks when I have people on my team and I can see that they're struggling, like they're not improving, they're not driving forward, they don't have vision, they're in this realm of passivity and complacency and negativity. Yeah. And they bring it across wherever they go. It's like their pig pen, man. They just got dust following them around.
Yep.
I'm genuinely sad for those people.
Yep.
Because they don't even know that they're stuck in this world of an expectation of happy, or I need to be here and this is the perfectly balanced life. And so they don't push themselves.
Yep.
They're leaving so much progress.
I know.
In the graveyard.
It's sad.
It is sad.
It's a waste of potential.
Totally.
It's like my first boss out of grad school, Mike Lattice. You've all heard about the Peter principle, where people rise to their level of incompetence.
Yeah.
His was the Paul principle. All the people who do not achieve their real potential. He goes, well, what about the Paul principle?
Yeah.
Okay, for all those who exceed their potential, there's a lot more of them out there who don't reach their potential because they're not going for the brass ring. They're not doing the things that lead to extraordinary success and accomplishment.
That's right.
It's pretty interesting. One of the companies I'm associated with and one of the partners in, our CEO put out recently a code of conduct for employees. And, it was pretty interesting. Okay. Some of the points were related to things like, if you're a salaried employee, it doesn't mean your job ends, at 5 o'clock.
Right.
We expect you to be responsive to calls, emails, texts, et cetera, things like that. There was very little response to that. Okay. Today, he put out a second one related to the code of conduct, all in response to emails that, you got to respond. You got to say you got it. You got to answer the question that was asked of you or provide the information that was asked of you. And speed is important.
Yeah.
Because there are things that are out of our control, and the sooner we can respond to them, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just interesting, the lack of response to that. Like people saying, yeah, I agree with that. Way to go. Instead, they're like, oh, wait a minute. What? I'm supposed to work beyond 5:01. I'm at 5:01. I'm checked out, you want me to respond to emails? I'm busy here today. I can't. I'm so busy, I can't respond. It's like, that's such bullshit.
It is.
Think of how much we do and all the plates that we spin in the air simultaneously. People tell me, when I tell them all I do, they're like, I don't believe that.
Yeah, they don't believe you.
They don't believe it. They don't even believe it's possible, but it is, and you can still respond. What?
You are the fastest responder I've ever met in my life.
But I mean, it's just, there's things are within people's control to do. They've got to make that sacrifice, that effort when they work for people like us.
Yeah.
If they want to get ahead, if they want to be satisfied, if they want to become owners, if they want to have their own thing someday.
Yeah. If they want to just succeed.
Yes.
And what we need, so I think that, if you're listening, you're a small business owner.
Yeah. How do we get that?
Yeah, you have to hire that way, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have to investigate the attitude. You have to investigate the values and the vision and the ambitions of the individuals, right? Like, I mean,
yes, you're right.
And that's a hard thing to peel back. Like, I mean, I've been fooled more times than I've been,
I know,
that I've landed correctly. Now I have found, I have people on my team that are like high achievers, man. Like it gives me the greatest satisfaction in the world when I have somebody, like I have them here at Podcast Videos, that I have a few of them that are just like, dude, I can depend on them. Like I feel part of their team. I don't feel like an owner. I feel like I'm part of this team.
Of course. You know why though? Well, I'll say a couple things. One is you're in the trenches just like them. Mm-hmm. That helps. Mm-hmm. Then you identify those people. They feel like you're working hard too, and the other thing that you've done is I know most of the people you have here, right? Most of them did not have the qualifications for the job they're in. Mm-hmm. If you looked at it on paper.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's the character,
man.
It's the intelligence. It's the personality.
It's the give a crap, man.
Right. That's what they have, and that's what you invest in. And then 100%. The stuff that they need to figure out, it's not that hard. I mean,
especially now with AI.
I don't know about AI shit. That's
I know, but the reality is like it's level set everything. Like you don't have to be a 30-year veteran in an industry to know how to do stuff. All you got to do is ask. Just ask the question and figure it out, right? And I mean, if you have an attitude to achieve and to grow and to be part of a team, and you see your peers as like, and here's the other thing. I've actually been on this rampage lately. The saddest thing to me is when you have a person that is complacent, passive, complaining, looking, always like they work so hard on figuring out how they don't have to work, right? As if even if they attain that goal that they're going to be happy,
right?
Which they won't be, because no one that really doesn't work. I've yet to meet one person in my entire life that doesn't work that's happy.
No, I agree.
They have the same problems, and a lot of times are multiplied,
right?
Because they have no more self-confidence, no self-esteem. They're depressed.
Yeah.
They are lost. They have no purpose. They have no identity anymore.
It's like almost like being a criminal. Okay. You're seeking the easy way out. Okay. Yeah. You steal your money.
You steal your, it is. It's like stealing, man.
It is.
You're stealing from yourself.
Yes.
You're stealing all the things that give you that sense of achievement, honor, that all these things.
Yes.
But anyway, like the one thing that I've been noticing about this is like it's the bad part about a person that is in that mindset. It's not what they only do to themselves, what they're doing to their peers that are right next to them.
Yes, it's a shame.
You got person A over here who's achieving, coming to work, that's passionate, that was driven, that wants to accomplish and do things.
Yep.
And then they got a peer over here that doesn't report to them.
Right.
That's complacent and all this kind of stuff. They're spilling out negative energy.
Yep.
And this person's dragging them along. And all the while, person B, the passive person that's looking for vacations and get paid more money, by the way, is literally risking and damaging person, A's potential. And they're keeping them from getting paid more. They're keeping other people.
They want to see them. They want to drag them down.
Yes. It's the whole thing.
Okay. Misery loves company.
Dude, it's that whole principle. It's just like being in freaking grade school again.
Yeah.
If I'm ugly and you're beautiful, I'm going to tell you that you're ugly so that I feel better about myself.
Exactly.
It's all about self-esteem and all this crap, man, that we're born with.
Yeah.
No, and that we don't investigate, I know. And it's actually, I've seen it, it makes me and it makes me very like just upset to see, that person that they don't even realize the circle of hell that they're creating for them, not only themselves, but their family, their peers, their friends, everybody.
Yep. It's just negativity.
But all the while they get to be in a survey and complain.
Yeah. I know.
In which gives them, it gives them this confidence that they're right.
When I saw this data that Sam put together for us about the 77% and the 95% are burnout from these extra requests, or 93%, and the 75% of Gen Zs that are burnout due to workplace stress, all I can think about is give me the 7%, give me the 25%. Okay? I don't even want those other ones. There's very little we can do to change them.
Yeah.
Their personality and their mentality is a function of what they've experienced up to the point that they come into our organizations. Okay.
Yep.
Can some of them change their lives? Yeah. Can some meth addicts stop being meth addicts?
No, it's not going to happen.
They can, but it's rare, right?
It's rare, yeah.
It's super rare. Okay. It's the same kind of thing. I think where the problem we have as small businesses is being, quote, heartless enough to run those bad apples off fast enough. Instead, we feel obligated, thanks to HR and everybody else,
to
spend months and months or years even trying to turn them into something that they're not.
Man,
the team.
Hey, that's a great topic for the entrepreneur right there. Because it's even relative to me. There are folks that behave this way that I continually invest in.
I know it takes real time and mental energy,
real money, real time.
Of course.
And I've had the same conversation over and over and over again in 100 different ways. But yet somehow in me, and maybe this is
it's your sense of responsibility for them.
Yeah.
You're taking
I want them, like, if you would just get a different, if you've been freaking, like, do you need to listen to affirmations while you sleep?
Right.
So you wake up and you go, wait a minute, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I have a responsibility, I
got
worthy.
Nothing to complain about.
Got nothing to bitch about. Everything's good. I just slept in air conditioning all night. I'm not cold, I'm not hot. I got food. Show up to work and just do your work, and I'm going to help my other. I mean, like,
I know.
It's that mentality, that vision, that perspective. And you know what, Mark? I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to go to my grave not believing that that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's what's driving me is, like, I got to.
You want to keep showing the world that doesn't have to be the case. It's the same thing that motivates you to start these businesses. It's like, I want to show the world they think I can't do it, or this won't work. I'll show them.
I guess so.
Right?
I guess so.
I get it.
Because if you can't, I have seen people make the adjustment. I have seen.
I know.
And it's very few, but when they do, their lives change forever.
Well, the thing is,
lives around them are changed.
If you can get the culture in your firm to have the majority being can-do people who get it, then you can put some of those average people into that, and they become good, okay? It's just getting your business to that tipping point.
Yeah.
There's more good ones than there are bad ones. Because if it's the other way, then you can take good people and put them into it, and they go bad. Right?
No,
just like
so
you
true.
said.
So true, man. It goes both. It's that pendulum, man. And as the entrepreneur, guess what? You have to show up, and you're the one that's pushing and pulling this. And it's this.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like, it's not the financial books that are very reasonable and logical. It's not the marketing plans and all this other stuff. It's that soft skill, that sense of where that pendulum, and how do you navigate that? That's just really, but it's such a, like, when you see strong leaders, they have the ability to do that. Like, I think immediately just of Sam Walton.
Yeah.
His ability to just drive people to be better than who they are when they showed up. And they believe.
He was great at that, wasn't he?
So good at just inspiring and campaigning constantly. And it worked.
I know.
And the same thing has happened with all these major businesses when they started.
Sure.
Like, that's why it's so hard for, like, the culture we're in with this. You'll build a pitch deck, you get investment, and then you start, like, you're just kind of
2 years later, you're rich, you're done, you're out.
Like, and nobody knows what it really was, but there's this core team that's built, and you have somebody or a group of people that are just anxious to freaking achieve and win.
Yes.
They want to win.
Yes. Yes.
And you don't have to have,
go
ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were
going to say you don't have to in a company have 100% of them, everybody's winners. You're not going to find it, right?
Yeah.
And there are jobs.
There's always going to be a low performers. When you get out of the one low performer, another one will immediately take their place.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah. There have been studies done on that too.
Yeah. And I mean, there's functions that don't really require, and you don't have to pay, like you can find people that just show up to work and leave, and that's their life. That's their happy.
Yeah, there's some of those.
But the thing that those people do is they don't bring negative energy to the company. Yes,
that's not acceptable no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you're right on with that.
Ready to level up your show? At podcastvideos.com, we offer industry-leading recording and expert marketing to help your show reach more listeners. From creation to distribution, we've got you covered. Visit podcastvideos.com and elevate your podcast today.
I think again, I always seem to bring it back to sports analogies, and I'm not even a big fan of spectator sports.
Right.
I'm a guy. I always said I don't want to watch. I want to play.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Same. 100%.
I'm a player. I'm not a watcher.
Right. Same, bro. I love it.
So yeah,
we play.
We play. But if you look at teams, they understand this. Okay, sports teams. The coach is not going to tolerate somebody who's polluting the minds of others. They're going to make their efforts to turn it around, but it's not going to last very long. And they're off the team. Yeah, we're going to put somebody else in. Okay. Not everybody makes it. I just think we've all got this attitude. Well, it's hard to find people. Okay. It's an employee driven labor market, and we got to be nice to everybody. We want to be like a family here.
You want to be like a sports team.
I want to be like a sports team.
That has the first string, they start.
Yeah, I want the winning team.
I might have some backups, but they're out as soon as I get a better backup. That's just that, because we're here to freaking win.
Exactly.
And I guess that
some people last a long time, right?
Yeah, some people play for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes they go to different teams. They recruit off. They're they're moving around. But but the thing is every player that comes, there's somewhere that this employee mindset has gotten mixed up, that they're not playing on a sports team.
Yeah.
They're not joining a company to help the company win.
Yes.
And that you have to perform and you have to grow and be better every single day for the company, for the team to win.
Yeah.
Somehow it's gotten mixed up to where it's not even about the win.
Well, it's like, I think a big part of the problem is, and again, I always go back to this, it's the whole idea of open book management. And because the presumption is that, you own your business, you're rich, you can afford to do this, you can afford to pay me whatever you want, yada, 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 okay? Because I'm being exploited and I deserve to cheat. Because if I can, all I'm doing, you're cheating.
Yeah, you're already cheating as a business.
Yeah, you're cheating me. Okay, so I'm going to cheat. These are some of the attitudes that exist out there, and it's I'll liken it to in Fayetteville the presumption of the mass of the citizenry, certainly the most vocal ones, and the city staff is if you're a real estate developer, you're rich, you're evil. All you want to do is rape the land and maximize your profitability. Okay.
Right.
And that's not the case with 9 out of 10 developers I know. They want to build something. They want something cool there that they can say, I did that. I helped make this town what it is.
Yeah.
I made this a better place. Okay. That's what's motivating them, just like business owners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, but if that's the presumption of people, then that makes it very difficult to get them to change their behavior and their attitudes to one of thinking like a business owner.
Yeah.
And advancing the organization to win and make themselves win.
100%. And I think that when we're wrapping up this episode, right, I love this last bullet point, identifying organizational health indicators, right? So this whole discussion that we've had.
Yeah.
How do you identify when this pendulum, where it's at in the process, as a business owner, and how do you get to that winning team? How do you get, you mentioned open book management, like that's a tactical thing to get to winning team.
Sure.
But to identify it, there is a sixth sense, I think, that a lot of business owners either have or they develop over time. And a lot of times, like in my experience, has been I had to go through experiences to now see the sparks that lead to forest fires.
Yes.
But I think that one we talked about earlier, like how you interview and bring people on the team.
Right.
Like
That's critical.
You can't think as a big business. You can't be a small business owner and think like a major corporation.
Right. You can't. Here's your job description for an admin assistant 2. You do A, B, C, D, E, and F, right? It just doesn't work.
When I talk to people about a job in a small business, like I'm like, listen, like this is kind of the core of what I'm hiring you to do, but you need to know, like, I will be asking you for all kinds of stuff, and you should do anything and everything that's needed to make sure that this company is successful.
Yes.
Number one, do you understand that? Yeah, I get it. I'm in. Okay, great. I set an expectation with you. We both get it.
Right.
And then you're interviewing about attitude, asking about ambition, all those types of things. But then when they come in and they're working, you should be able to you need to be attuned to your people. Like you need to watch their expression, how they're walking in, how often are they skipping out a little bit early, and you have to address things on the
signs.
You taught me this. We don't have freaking employee reviews.
Yeah, I hate
every 6 months. Like if I see a problem, we address the problem.
Yep.
Right then and there. You don't need to prepare and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
In most circumstances.
Yes, exactly. No, you're right on with that.
Because you can check it.
Everything needs to move faster. We've got to be involved with our business to see this kind of stuff, right?
That's a huge point right there. Yeah, you got to be at the business, working in the business, talking to the team, calling folks, emailing folks, having meetings.
And sensitive to what you're seeing, like passive aggressive responses. Like I sent somebody an idea for something and they don't respond at all. Well, that means they don't like the idea. Okay. That's what they're telling me.
Yeah. And so you need to be able to go and address that real quickly.
Yeah. You've got
like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Like are you having problems? What are you in, and I've found most of the time, people have misconceptions about what you're asking or what's going on.
Sure.
Like when they hear something, it's not that they're hearing exactly what you're saying. They're putting it together about everything that they've been reading, and God knows what they're reading. Mm-hmm. They could be reading all the bitching
or seeing on social media.
76% of people that are burnt out.
Right.
And so they've been reading that lately, and they're just in this mindset, and they're like very watchful.
Yeah.
About anything.
They're angry.
They're angry already, and it's not about you, it's about them.
No, boy, you're right about it. I mean, that describes like the political environment, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And so you say something, and they're all freaking passive aggressive, sarcastic, or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's been many times like, all right, everybody have a good day. Hey, so-and-so, will you stay here and talk to me real quick? Hey, listen, when I said this earlier in the meeting, I looked at you and you kind of rolled your eyes for a second and sat back and looked like you're not on the, where are you at?
Yeah.
Well, I just think that you're asking a lot. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm like, listen, we're here to win. Yeah. And this is what we're doing. And when we talked originally, this is what was going to happen. I mean, are you still in the game? And a lot of times they'll start waking up.
Yeah, like, I'm still I'm in the game. Yeah.
I'm like, good, I'm glad we're back on the same page, but you can't.
Good point.
It's like, look, when you roll your eyes and you sit back, do you realize what you're doing to the rest of the team? Do you realize what you're doing to the culture of this company? Like, you're damaging things.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to. They just got sucked into this freaking negative social crap.
Yes.
That's sucking them in, the negativity, but you can help bring them out of that.
Yeah.
Versus letting that brood, counting them out, don't invest in them.
Yeah.
Because it's always, I think, it's just like is it cost more to get a new lead or to upsell?
No, serve your existing clients. So you want to try to turn them around.
Right. But serve your existing team.
Yeah, but you've got to put limits on that as to how much you'll do.
Yeah. Because you have to have that conversation over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like not going to work.
And follow your intuition, because I think sometimes we ignore that.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't. So let's just summarize here. it ain't easy working for an entrepreneur.
No, it's not.
Okay.
As you can tell. Right?
But you could learn a hell of a lot if you embrace the idea. If you think like a business owner and treat yourself as your own business, what would you do to be successful?
Yeah.
If you think that way and you apply that in your employment situation with the entrepreneur, my God, I mean,
what can you can achieve?
Probably anything.
Yeah. Which is what happens when you see these companies.
Hey, did you start out with a whole pot of cash?
I don't know, man.
Okay, neither did I.
No.
Okay, neither did I.
Mm-mm.
The only way we got where we are, if it's anything at all, and sure, there's people who are more successful than
100%
than us, you know, but it's because we applied that thought process to the jobs we had.
That's right.
We learned a lot from it. In some cases, I actually got to become an owner in the enterprise because of that behavior. Okay. And then we were equipped.
Yeah.
We went out to start our own businesses in the world to be successful.
That's right.
It's part of your training. It's part of your education. It's part of your habits, your workout, you know.
And all I want to do is be part of the team like that.
Exactly.
That's all I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
It's just
I get
a great
it.
team.
Right.
That wins.
It's because that's fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's meaningful.
It's gratifying.
Totally.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Well,
It's been a fantastic episode.
we're done.
We're done. Until next time, another episode of that
Big talk about small businesses.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Big Talk about Small Business. If you have any questions or ideas for upcoming shows, be sure to head over to our website, www.bigtalkaboutsmallbusiness.com, and click on the Ask the Host button for the chance to have your questions answered on the show. Stay connected with us on LinkedIn at Big Talk About Small Business. And be sure to head over to our website to read articles, browse episodes, and ask questions about upcoming shows.